Good morning, Mr. Munir. Good morning, my friends. Today I'm going to present an article under the book of Handbook of Educational Linguistics by Marta CLIL. The article entitled Analyzing Classroom Language in CLIL. This is the part 6 in Language Instruction Assessment in Handbook of Educational Linguistics. I'm going to start by talking about the introduction about the article. This article talks about the classroom and this classroom language, and it is analyzed by CLIL. The first part is talking about the classroom. As we know that the classroom language is open to wide interpretation and debate, means that it is still debating about the definition of the classroom itself, classroom language itself, and also the implementation of the classroom language. The nature of the language used by both teacher and the learners is highly complex, depending on the cultural context, the goals, and the projected outcomes of the learning. While the concept of classroom language in content and language integrated learning, CLIL, has been influenced by diverse, interconnected, yet separate developments, including language learning in foreign language classroom, MFL, TFL, and TESOL, language learning in immersive settings, first language subject learning, and deeper understanding of literacies in both first and other languages. The first part of this article talks about the historical development of CLIL. CLIL itself emerged in the 90s as a key contributor to European language policy. It has since evolved from small-scale pilot studies to a global educational phenomenon. Research from Canadian immersion and second language acquisition studies, gradually developing its own theoretical foundation. From this picture, we can see the historical development of CLIL. It started by 1990s. The CLIL emerges as part of European language policy. And 10 years later, in 2000s, small-scale pilot studies and research begin. And the next 10 years, 2010s onwards, CLIL develops into own theoretical base and global reach. First of all, it is going to talk about the classroom language in CLIL. And the first part of the classroom language in CLIL will be about from communication to interaction. CLIL classroom language has been influenced by the concept of communicative competence, emphasizing social interaction and authentic communication. This shift moved away from controlled practice and repetition towards more interactive classroom activities. Researchers like Savignon, 1991, and Smith, 1983, highlighted the importance of interaction and using language to learn. However, challenges arose in creating genuine communicative opportunities within classroom settings. In CLIL, the potential for authentic interaction as a means of acquiring new knowledge become very crucial. The second one is focus on form and meaning. CLIL classrooms grapple with balancing focus on language form and content meaning. Research in immersion settings showed that while focus on meaning develops overall communicative competence, it can lead to linguistic gaps. Lister's counterbalance approach advocates for integrating form-focused and meaning-focused activities, while Swan's output hypothesis emphasizes the importance of pushed output in language learning, involving noticing, hypothesizing testing, metalinguistic functions, and fluency development. The use of L1 as a cognitive tool in complex tasks is also recognized as valuable in CLIL setting. The next one is meaning making and CLIL. CLIL has been influenced by social constructivist learning theories, moving away from transmission models towards interactive learning. The language across the curriculum movement emphasized that every teacher is a language teacher. Anderson and Krauthaus in 2011, revision of Bloom's taxonomy identified different types of knowledge requiring varied language use. Subject-specific discourse involves different types of knowledge construction, necessitating awareness of intuitive subject genres and the impacts how teachers intervene in knowledge construction and linguistic development, profoundly affecting classroom language. And the last part, number 4, is literacies in CLIL. Yeah, means a distinction between BICS, basic interpersonal communication skills, and CALP, communicative academic language proficiency, has significantly influenced CLIL. The learners need to develop both social and academic language for effective participation in CLIL settings. Academic language proficiency is linked to broader literacy skills, including awareness of subject-specific genres and registers. This requires teachers to have literacy pedagogical content knowledge to make language construction transparent to learners. Classroom interaction becomes the primary context for highlighting these features. The next part of these articles is talking about CLIL and educational linguistics. CLIL's position at the intersection of applied linguistics and educational theories places it within the realm of educational linguistics. This field holistically investigates issues related to language and education, aligning with the CLIL's focus on integrating language and content learning. CLIL classroom research requires collaboration between linguists, educational researchers, and teachers to understand the complex dynamics of language use in educational systems. This interdisciplinary approach acknowledges the messiness of classroom practice and the multiple competing agendas in limited educational spaces, positioning CLIL as a significant area of study within the educational part. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the next part is talking about the core issues and the key findings. The first part of the core issues and key findings is talking about the classroom interaction for language learning and language using. Research by Gaillot and Serra in 2002 compared mathematics teaching in L1 Italian and L2 French, revealing differences in knowledge processing. Monolinguals relied more on informational knowledge, while bilinguals used operational knowledge. CLIL classes showed higher levels of communication and comprehension checks. Other studies found less variety in teacher language, but potentially greater learner engagement due to the masking effect and lowered anxiety. Another research done by the Graf et al. That is developing an analytical tool for CLIL classroom language, identifying key indicators of effectiveness. This includes challenging input, meaning-focused processing, form-focused processing, pushed output, and strategic language use. The study emphasizes the need for content-oriented teachers to understand the linguistic implications of classroom language and for all CLIL teachers to work towards language-rich classrooms. While Alexander in 2008 emphasizes the importance of guided progressive questioning and discussion for learner understanding. And in 2012, Ruiz et al. Noted the potential for dialogic CLIL classrooms to provide an optimal environment for learning, but highlight the need for further investigation in this area. The next part of core issues of the key findings is integrating language learning and content learning. Started by Mohan and Beckett in 2003, that highlight the often neglected role of language and discourse in content learning. Their study on grammatical scaffolding emphasizes the need for collaboration between learners and teachers to negotiate the functional relation of language and subject meaning. This involves complex maneuvers and semantic paraphrasing, underpinned by casual lexical grammar and grammatical metaphor. While in 2007-2010, Coyle and Patmore developed the language triptych as a conceptual tool for CLIL, linking knowledge, cognitive processing, and language. It comprises 3 perspectives. They are language of learning, as the core subject language, language for learning, linguistic functions for participation, and the last one is language through learning, that is spontaneous language used for deeper meaning making. This approach aims to help both subject and language teachers in planning and implementing effective CLIL lessons. Ladies and gentlemen, the next part is research process in CLIL classroom languages. Research process to classroom language in CLIL tend to fall into two categories. The first category focuses on class-based research or action research usually carried out by the teachers, gathering data to validate the outcomes of adopting a CLIL approach. These studies are localized, qualitative, and tend to be unreported in academic literature. The second category consists of empirical or more substantial corpus-driven studies carried out by academic researchers. There are relatively few robust and rigorous studies within CLIL context. Bonnet in 2010 identifies disparities in findings and weaknesses in current research design, calling for an integrated approach that connects qualitative and quantitative paradigms with products, process, and participant-oriented perspectives. This approach aims to create a more comprehensive understanding of CLIL classroom dynamics. Two significant studies have shaped our understanding of CLIL classroom language. Dalton-Puffer's 2007 multi-perspectival analysis used various approaches including speech hacks, genre analysis, and conversational analysis. While Linderis et al. In 2012 study utilized Linderis et al. 2012 study utilized a large corpus of CLIL classroom data across European countries, developing a three-part analytical framework focusing on subject literacies, classroom interaction, and language development. These studies provide rich description of CLIL classroom language and tools for further systematic research. Next discussion is about current debates in CLIL classroom language. The debate is in four points. The first one is integration complexity. It is about challenges in effectively combining subject and language learning across diverse CLIL settings. The second one is about academic discourse, that is exploring the role and development of subject-specific language in CLIL context. Then number three is plurilyteracies. It is investigating the potential of multiple literacy approaches and CLIL. And the last one is multilingual practices. That is debating the use of effectiveness of multiple languages in CLIL classroom. And the last discussion on this article is about the implication for education and future directions. The implication on teacher education, there is a pressing need for systematic teacher education tailored to both content and language teachers. On educational linguistics, it is situating CLIL research within broader linguistic and pedagogical framework. And in pedagogical principles, this involves developing pedagogic principles about the nature, appropriateness, and efficacy of classroom discourse in CLIL settings. And in 21st century learning, the potential for transforming approaches to task activities and interactions in CLIL classroom is immense, with implications for 21st century learning practices. Dear Pak Munir and also all of my friends, this is my presentation about analyzing classroom language in CLIL. Hopefully, this short presentation can give you a good information about analyzing classroom language in CLIL. Thank you very much. Suggestion and discussion is open for the next. Thank you.